This video is sponsored by Train World, America's discount model train store since 1968.
Hey everybody, it's Jimmy from the DIY and Digital, and today we're talking about the Etsy store. Welcome back everybody. First of all, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you're eligible for the 10,000 subscriber giveaway sponsored by Train World. Those guys were awesome enough to give me a couple prizes to give away to you guys to show my gratitude and thanks for support that you guys have given me. So you can go ahead and check out those prizes and learn how to enter at the video that I'm linking right up here, as well as in the description below. Okay, so you guys have been asking me tons of questions about this Etsy store in regards to 3D printed buildings. And I can finally announce today that the Etsy store is online. I've got 2 buildings for sale right now, and I'm going to show you guys what I have. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so let's take a look at the first building, which is building number 2. Now, building number 2 is actually the first building that I was able to successfully print, and this is the way that the base kit's going to show up. Now, I know I've talked about interior kits. I don't have those ready yet because I'm still tweaking them to make them the best possible, but I do have what is going to come standard in a building 2 kit. So let's go ahead and talk about what we have right here. So in building number 2, what we're going to be looking at here is you're going to have the building, of course. Now you'll notice it's a slightly darker gray than this. What I'm actually doing is just to seal everything in well and make it easier to paint, I am giving it a single coat of a flat gray primer so that it's just easier to paint and you already have a flat finish. A lot of times it's somewhat difficult to get that glossy finish off of some models, especially for beginners. So this definitely helps in getting it down to a flat, more realistic look. And you can also see that I have the brick detail. It brings out the brick detail a whole lot more. And it just overall, it makes the model easier to paint. So the next thing I have right here is the base kit. Now you'll see I've done some modifications to the base kit. A couple of you guys suggested having aligners so that I could align the model properly on this. Now you're probably going to want to do a little bit of sanding to get the stuff off. This was done on an FDM 3D printer, which is a filament printer. And you can see the little lines where it finishes off. A little sanding should take that right off. But I've also done little gaps in there to represent the sidewalk. And if you look, when I take them together, it matches the next sidewalk. So you can have sidewalk sections like that, or you can just put some putty over them or something like that. The last thing that's going to come is just a simple roof section. Now these are both printed with gray. Depending on what filament I'm able to buy for the cheapest, they're going to come in different colors. I'm not going to do any wild colors, but it's probably going to be either a white or a gray. So let me show you how this goes together. It's really very simple. So all you do is you'll put this here, and then you'll take, and the aligners align to the back, and then the roof goes on like that. And that is how you assemble this little building. It's not difficult at all. That is how it is done. So this building takes about 3 hours to print, and typically I can get 3 printed in a day with work schedule and everything, but I will come in and start one in the morning, and then midday, since I'm at home right now, I'll start a second one and get this one into its cleaning process and getting it ready to be painted and packaged. And then I'll do a third one overnight and come do that one back again in the morning. So that's what it takes to get one of these. And this is the quickest building I can print, is building 3. Now let's talk about what a lot of you guys have asked about as well, which is the imperfect prints. Now the imperfect prints, now these prints right here, the standard ones, these are going to be $10 models. I don't want to make a ton of money off this. The whole point of this channel has been to make model railroading more affordable. And yes, there are going to be nicer, more detailed building kits and more stuff you can do. But this is just to make buildings from model railroading accessible and make the hobby more accessible. So $10 for the regular kit. Now here comes the question that you guys have asked. The factory, not the factory imperfect prints. I don't know why I don't have a factory. The imperfect prints are going to be, for this model, are going to be $5. You heard me right. $5 for this. And they're not going to be terrible. They may have a chipped edge here, or they may have a really bad print imperfection like a line or something may have happened when removing that, or they may be bowed a little bit, but $5 for one of those. Now, one of the big differences is you don't get the base with it. You'll only get a roof piece with it. And I'm not going to paint the roof piece if it needs to be painted. And I'm going to be using whatever filament I have. But $5 for an imperfect print of building number 2. So let's go ahead and talk about the other model that that is on sale right now. And that is building number 1. Building number 1 is the first building that I designed. It's a 3-story building, and it has turned out really, really, really well. This one actually took a little bit more work to get it to where I was okay with selling it, but I've got it to work, and it's really, really awesome. And right now, I actually don't have that many of the factory imperfect prints. I don't know why I keep saying that. Right now, I don't have many of the imperfect prints because I've tweaked this so much, and when it failed spectacularly to a point where I'm not going to sell it as an imperfect print. So these, I have produced a few of them just to be ready for sale in case you guys wanted them. But let me show you guys. So this is very similar. You got this piece right here. You have tiny little aligners. I put some space in this one to save some printer material. It lines up, and the roof drops in like that. Now, one of the things I can show you actually is how they come off the printer. So this is how these pieces come off the printer, and what it is basically it has supports, and I just peel it off. And I'll scrape all of this stuff off to the point where it looks like, do I have a finished one? I'll show you this. It's where it's got a little bit better of a finish. So I'll get rid of all that excess and just sand it down really quick. So that's building number 1. It's going to be $10 as well for a regular print, and it's going to be $6 for an imperfect print. And right now, actually, this is an imperfect print, and I can show you why. So I have 2 imperfect prints right here before I got down to the perfect ones. So you can see right here on these, I have some little marks from where some supports did not remove well. You can see right there, and it's got them on these as well. So these are both imperfect prints. And also on this one, the front door actually chipped off, and what I did was I glued it back on and then spread some resin over it and cured it back on and painted it. So these are both actually imperfect prints you can get for $6. And again, they won't come with the base. So that's what's for sale right now on my Etsy store. Those 2 models, I am making them to order, so don't worry about the in-stock. That's just what I have made right now. So you can check that out. There's a link in the description below to the Etsy store. Love it if you guys would check that out. Now, speaking of all of that, I am going to be putting more models, as you guys know, including building number 3, which is a 5-story building, building number 4, which has a long storefront, and building number 5, which is a row house, a townhouse, so to speak. Building number 6 is one with a catty-cornered entrance door, and building number 7 is another 3-story building, but it has 2 doors and 4 windows instead of 1 door and 3 windows. So it looks a little bit different than building number 1. I'm also going to potentially be doing limited runs at the fast food restaurant, the gas station that I have designed that you guys will be seeing soon, and the oil and tire center that I'll be designing soon as well. I actually haven't got on the design phase of that, so that's one of my next things I have on my list. So that's what's going on. That's the Etsy store. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this. Again, check it out. It's in the link in the description below. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right here so that you don't miss any updates like this video. Plus, you're eligible for the 10,000 subscriber giveaway sponsored by Train World. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any updates like this video. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Happy railroading.